I don't want to be one of those guys that deceives you with a thumbnail or a headline and then don't actually talk about the topic at hand. You want to know if Skip Bayless was really going to pay $1.5 million to play backgammon in the FS1 parking lot with a hairdresser. And the answer is absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've confirmed that with multiple sources. No one actually believes that Skip Bayless was going to transfer $1.5 million into a hairdresser's account for 5 minutes of work. If you just use your brain, because it's a tool, you will see how that doesn't actually make any sense. You know, people say things that they don't really mean. They say outlandish things, and you know Skip is outlandish. So did the words come out of his mouth? Possibly, according to my sources. Does anyone actually believe if this hairdresser would have said, sure, here's my Zelle, here's my Cash App, that Skip would have got out the phone and transferred $1.5 million into an account? No. We have to use our common sense. Listen, Skip is rich. Don't get me wrong. Skip has made a good amount of money in this business. Him and Ernestine aren't hurting for cash. But he's not Jeff Bezos. He's not Zuckerberg. He just can't just give $1.5 million away and think nobody's going to notice in his household. He's not that rich. He's rich, but he's not Jeff Bezos rich, where $1.5 million is like $15. So no, that wasn't actually happening. I understand, got to get your jokes off. I understand how social media works. I understand it's Skip Bayless. Some people consider this payback for everything that Skip has said about athletes over the years. But you know me, facts, not feelings. So I did a little investigating. I did a little talking to some people in the know to get down to what's actually happening. Some of it can be very triggering, depending on how things have went with your jobs over the years. The consensus that I've gotten from the multiple people that I've spoken to over the last few days is that while the majority of the information is true, context does matter. And there's a lot of things that have been left out because, honestly, when we're talking about context, it's all about how the individual sees the information, how the individual sees what's happening. You know, a singular thing can be happening. Two people can see it and have different versions of what they saw based on a lot of different things. That's why I wanted to speak to multiple people. And I got different answers from different people. But the consensus is that it's not all what it seems. Clearly, when you sue someone, you're just telling your side of the story. There is another side that has to be told. In the world of social media, normally the first side wins, like a fight. Whoever throws the first punch normally wins a street fight because you don't recover from the first punch. But I'm about facts, not feelings. There are probably some things that certain individuals want to say, that they want to put out there to defend themselves, but are being advised because of the litigation to not say anything. I would caution you to not just come to a conclusion based off one side. Now, I understand jokes got to fly. The memes have to be posted. Obviously, when you're talking about individuals that are in the media, that are giving strong opinions on things, they're always going to have a section of individuals that are waiting for their get back, for their clap back. You can see that happening currently. It's part of being in the game. It's part of being in the media. It's part of being involved in social media. Is that you know your day, your time might come. It's one of them dangerous games that are out there because it's hard to beat the mob. See, the social media, an individual probably can't take you down, but they're like ants. So as they work together as one, it's pretty easy to see what happens. Not surprised by anything. Not unusual for this stuff to be, happening. It's one of those things you have to take into consideration when you put yourself out there as a front-facing individual. You just have to hope that something else comes and people get tired of talking about you and they start talking about somebody else. But people are asking me what I'd heard, what I thought. Definitely not someone that piles on. It's not my thing. If you've known me for the past, 20 years, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I don't like to kick people when they're down. I think that's weak. If you want to go heads up, I want you at your strongest. I want to go toe to toe. I don't want you when you're injured. I don't want you when you're weak. I literally just did a video about how we don't show enough loyalty to our friends. How when they're at their lowest, we tend to, we don't want to deal with them anymore. Or we find out that your friends aren't really your friends. And they follow the mob and take shots. It's not my thing. I'm too old for that. I report the news. I give people the inside information that I get. And hopefully that's good enough for you guys. But no, Skip wasn't gonna get that lady $1.5 million. Who the hell she thinks she is? Selma Hayek? If you're watching this, you probably have too much time on your hands, but I do appreciate you. If you can do me a favor, if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, BSO TV, and our podcast, The Headline King with Robert Littal, and Facts Not Feelings with Robert Littal on all of your podcasting spaces, I would really appreciate that. We're doing daily, weekly videos, insider information, things that you won't be able to get on the website. So please subscribe to these spaces, and therefore you get to see my lovely face on a daily basis.